Well, today Miles is getting a bath, and it's Pristine Auto Care that's doing it. I actually was walking around one day and saw a coach that just turned out beautiful, and it was not a ceramic wax job on it. It was actually just a regular wax job that these guys did, and it turned out so well that I decided that these were the people that I had to hire. So actually, here's the owners of Pristine Auto Detailing, and they're excited. They're excited to expand the reach of their company, and it's kind of infectious to see their enthusiasm, which is really great to deal with a company like that. You want to start with the roof, obviously, and have a good job to start with there, because if they do a mediocre job on pressure washing the roof, the very first rainstorm, additional debris is going to be able to always rain down and screw up your brand new clean rig. When you're in an RV park and you want to wash your rig, a lot of us end up carrying our own equipment to do it, but I can tell you that after you've done it once or twice, you kind of learn your lesson that you pretty much just want your equipment that you buy just for the tune-up that you need to clean up different areas, and actually the whole job is just so big for an old codger like me that I end up contracting it out. One of the issues trying to clean the rig yourself is the fact that it's pretty much not allowed. The slop and the water and the overspray that you might get on your neighbor's rig, they've just had so many problems with that in the past. Pretty much you have to go with a place that is one of the selected contractors in the area that has proven to be responsible, like these guys.
So let's say you decide that you're going to do this washing yourself. So let's have a little checklist of what you need. Well, first of all, you'll notice that this truck inside, it has a pressure washer. And that pressure washer actually is fed by a giant tank of deionized water, which is very, very important because it does not leave streaks behind when it dries and water spots. So first and foremost, you'd have to be set up with a system like that. Now, you can imagine the Chan man with my 69-year-old bones waddling around on this roof trying to do something like this guy is doing right now. I mean, you have to be very sure-footed up there. I can tell you that I have, I think, 8 solar panels up there, so there's really not a lot of real estate up there to be walking. To get the transition surface between the horizontal and vertical surfaces on your rig, you really do need to be on the roof, so you can take that brush and put it on that radius part of your cap to get all the debris off of it. The other important thing about always keeping your roof clean is that's the best way to be able to tell if you have anything going wrong with your seals and your caulking. Probably about twice a year, I end up paying somebody to go up there when I'm at a RV place that I trust to look at all the seals and caulk anything that needs to be done. So here's the part where you get to see what your rig would look like if you wanted to repaint it white. This illustrates another piece of equipment you'd probably want. You'd probably want a foam cannon to shoot the soap or whatever you're going to use all over your rig. Once your rig has been wetted down with the pressure washer, it's nice to put that soap on there and put it on very uniformly and let it soak just for a while, so you're not pushing dirt around and you're in fact washing it. One of the things that makes washing it yourself the most difficult is if you don't have all the right equipment, you have to do such small sections yourself that there's a lot of duplicity in what you're doing, and that's when you leave behind a lot of smudges and things at all the different areas where you did stopping and starting. By virtue of having two people like this and having that soap cannon to be able to put it on all at once, you can swab it around pretty quick and then switch back to the deionized water mode where you're rinsing it down, and it's just a real efficient way to do it, and probably the only reason why these guys can pound out something like this in 4.5 hours rather than the 2 or 3 days it would take you as an individual.
It's a lot harder to wash and wax your rig when the slides are out, but to be able to get that inside surface of your slides, you really need it out so you can wax it. So that means that typically all of the bottom work is done crouched down, either sitting on a little stool or you're on your knees.
Here's some more equipment that you'd have to be carrying for the rest of your life if you're a full-timer. A decent buffing wheel that can operate continuously for hours on end. And let's not forget the ladders that you need. The best ladder to do the job on something like this, of course, is an A-frame ladder. But I can tell you from experience that we carried one for a while, and not only was it too heavy for me to break out every time I needed it, but when we would hang it on the back of my motorhome where the ladder is, it impeded my ability to quickly go in and check on things on the engine. And certainly it would be a problem if you had a small fire back there that you may or may not be able to put out if it wasn't for the fact that you've got a ladder in the way locked to your rig. Okay, the proof is in the pudding, and here's the final product. One of the things that really separates the men from the boys when you get a detailed job like this is that when they are all done polishing the coach and they think they're done, that they in fact go back over it by hand and get each and every little smudge.
Top cap area looks really good. It's a little sunny out here for me to be able to study up on it exactly. Grill's nice and shiny. Boy, they actually cleaned the headlights up. I was thinking I might have to use one of those kits again to clean the headlights. That's kind of amazing to me. So whatever they use, they've got the trick. Here's the driver's cab side. Looks good. The side here. Nice and shiny all along the bays on the bottom. They reinstalled and washed each one by hand, the tire covers. Let's go to the back here and record my after picture of the cap on the back, and we can compare it to the before picture I took. Here's the back. And so we will compare this to the before picture I took. And finally, we'll check the passenger side out. Lots of work. I'll look at the time when I turn the camera off here, and I'll tell you how long it took. 2 guys.